now into 5B, administration letter from the High Prairie School Division Furniture and Equipment, page 38 of the agenda. Councillor Carrier.
Make a motion that council approve the request of the High Prairie School Division HPSD to take only the large table in the committee room and to leave behind for the town of High Prairie all jointly purchased furniture and equipment as listed in the inventory, including the oak table and chairs in their staff room.
Discussion, Mayor Cox.
The large table in the committee room, where's the committee room?
Right here.
So it's that large table in there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And I read this letter, but I didn't get any sense that there was going to be any cost. They're just leaving this all to us at no cost?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. That was my question, whether they, because they didn't talk about anything.
Yeah,
like
didn't, there's nothing.
So we're quite sure that they're just.
I actually like that.
Yep. They're ordering new furniture this month for their facility, so there's no real need for them to have all of the other stuff.
But I guess the reason I'm saying it is the way this letter is written, we understand the town can continue to use all of this, however, it's very costly for HPSD to replace everything. So when I read that, I thought, well, okay, there should be some amount that they're asking for.
I think what it says here is we are prepared to take less than half of our share and would propose that we only take the large table in the committee room.
I read that to mean that that's what they figured was less than half of their share by just taking that table. I guess we could confirm that if you have any doubt.
I think I interpreted they'll take the conference table. Okay.
I was waiting for the chair to address me, but it was already answered, so.
Did you have your hand up?
I certainly did, but another councillor gave the answer, so carry on.
Perfect. Thank you for that. And now that we've got that resolved, any further discussion? Any further questions? Seeing none. All those in favor? Another one down. And tax recovery administration, page 41 of the agenda, 5B2. Councillor Danac.
I make a motion that council approve that the town of High Prairie take title to the tax recovery land plan 7652 BC block 4 lot 9 4729 54th Ave, and that council direct the administration to obtain a vacant possession of the above property by following the Residential Tenancies Act and to demolish the building and sell the land.
Discussion. Councillor.
Just thank you to the CAO for taking the time to talk to the current renter of the building. She was very pleased and very happy that the CAO took the time to go down and talk to her.
Any further discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor? Motion carried. Employee recognition policy, page 49. Do we have somebody who wants to put this forward on the floor to discuss it? So, Councillor Carrier.
Make a motion that council receive for information.
Discussion. All those in favor?
Mr. Chair, if I may, can I let my public works speak to this a little bit, please?
Could you entertain that?
You're the chair.
If it's council's wish. Yes.
Thank you.
Would you like me to speak?
Yes, please.
Just that we do have long-term serving employees, various on the outside especially. But they've been there, and the information that they carry up in their noodles is
Just for clarification, the reason that I'm just receiving for information, I really like the fact that it's a little bit more personal with the engraved clock and the different things that do have the town's logo and stuff on it, and I don't see that in the new one. So I think it's, as I read it, I thought it was pretty good. Whereas the new policy doesn't have anything, it's just cash.
Mayor Cox.
I agree. I believe that, I like the idea of the town's logo because they've been working for us. So, at this point, I would like to receive the information also and have a little bit more discussion regarding the policy. I know it's 12 years old, but in saying that, maybe if we update the amount of what a signet ring costs rather than saying it's going to be a gift cash, like that's what my thoughts are.
Mr. Walker.
I'll just throw something out there for council's consideration. When I received my 20-year one, what I did, rather than getting what was named in the policy, I asked to have 3 pendants made for my children with the town's logo on, rather than getting something personal for myself. So I think what this is intending is to have discussions with the employee, what they would like to have. Because part of what I felt at that time, part of what my kids sacrificed for me to do my job was worthwhile them to be recognized as well.
So it comes, Chair, so it comes back to the policy should reflect it should have some bearing with the town
Yes.
logo. And so the policy does not reflect this at the time. A little bit more wording of the policy, bring it back again. But I think that's all it needs is some expansion on what kind of a gift we're talking about. So, and there are some nice things that you can have the town's logo on a really nice presentation watch on the back of the watch. The town's logo could be engraved on that.
They already do that on the face, right on the face is the.
So I think that's what we're looking for is a little bit more an engraved watch with the of the town's logo and then the amount. So a little bit more, as Councillor Carey has
When
said.
I received my watch from the college, it was a College of the Rockies watch. When I was at the mine, we received a $500 gold coin that was in a case with the mine logo on it. There's things that can be done that helps reflect our appreciation as well, not just an item, but that we sincerely respect that service. Yes, Mr. Walker.
So if we amended the policy to state that it includes the town logo on whatever gift is decided upon, I would just like the input. Like in my personal case, when I had the option to decide how the logo was going to be displayed, would that be suffice rather than specifically naming a gift of that value? As long as it included the town logo?
I'm seeing lots of noddings of head, and so we could receive it for information, or we could amend that, or rescind your motion and then put forward one after that. Councillor Carey.
Yep.
Awesome.
What was this one? Which one?
I'm agreeing with the multiple choices that we have, so.
So Shane, I'd like to rescind your motion and then put forward a motion that would reflect something to that nature.
I will rescind my motion if it pleases the chair.
Perfect. And do we have someone who would like to put forward a motion that would reflect what we just talked about with Mr. Walker's input?
Mr. Chair, I will make that motion, since nobody else is putting their
Okay.
hands up.
Councillor Carrier.
Make a motion that, council approve the policy number 21/2003 and it be amended to reflect town logo on the gift of choice by the employee.
With the new,
With the new
Schedules.
pricing
schedule.
yeah.
And that council direct administration to recognize service of the town employees as per policy.
That's what I said, yeah.
Perfect. And so that we have it correct, could we have it written or read back to us, please?
You wanna read it again, please?
Pardon me?
Would you be able to read it again, please?
That council approve that policy number 21/2003 be amended to reflect the new schedules and also include the town logo, and that council direct administration, or that it includes the town logo with on the gift of choice by the employee, and that council direct administration to recognize the service of the town employees as per the amended policy.
You're writing feverishly away.
Trying.
It's okay. We have time, we have patience. Make sure we get it right. And we appreciate the extra help that you girls, ladies, women, people are putting in for us.
So do you have it now?
There you go.
You got it?
So they just come in, put it here, council approval policy, that you went to reflect the new schedule. And here, and also town logo, net council, direct administration.
Mr. Chair, let me read it back because I'll pass the information on to them. The council approved that policy, the policy number 21/2003 be amended to reflect the new schedule and also to include the town logo of the gifts of choice by the employee, and that council direct administration to recognize the service of the town employee as per the amended policy.
Call the question as per read by the CAO.
Perfect. All those in favor? Passed unanimously. Thank you very much everyone for your help on that one. Cell phone policy. 5B4, Councillor Rose.
The council approves cell phone policy 012/2015 as presented.
Discussion. Councillor Denaki.
How many cell phones do we have?
Of employees,
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, and the constable at 5, and the fire chief would be 6.
Okay.
And then, Madam Mayor has one as well.
Councillor Denaki.
Page number 2 of the policy, cell phone use while driving. I would like to have included in the policy that any distracted driving tickets will be the sole responsibility of the employee and not the town.
Mike?
Number one.
To answer Donna's question, any traffic violations that are incurred by town employees while using a town of High Prairie vehicle is covered in the vehicle use policy already.
So
Which
that's
says?
the
So any speeding tickets,
It's-
seatbelt violations, it's the responsibility
Of the employee,
of the employee. Okay.
under the vehicle use policy.
and it's specific to distracted driving is in there as well?
All traffic.
All traffic.
All traffic, okay. Okay.
Any further discussion?
Mr. Chair, number 4, cell phone use while driving, we did make the change, but just to highlight that TOFF will be changed to Town of High Prairie.
Well, I was thinking that was some kind
I
of
know.
a
A joke.
provincial body
A
that
joke.
says.
Let's talk.
We brought the changes, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know those acronyms.
Any further discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor? Carried. And 5B5, or B, if you so choose, and the remote helicopter assumption, Mayor Cox.
The council approved that the mayor and CEO execute the Town of High Prairie Airport assumption and subordination agreement for remote helicopters.
Mayor Cox, sorry.
Is this one of these agreements that, that is a sublease of a sublease type of thing?
Exactly.
Okay.
Tom Pacific. Yeah.
So it moves remote helicopters to pay the rent to the county of, or Big Lakes County, right?
Exactly.
Got it.
Further discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor? Carried. Is this something that can be done more regularly, like the signing off of the audit and this? Could we sign that off as well here, or
Yeah, copy, yeah, okay.
it helps expedite
Oh,
everything? and-
okay, yeah. Okay, got it. Okay.
You want to
You wanna really,
Or-
recess, or what do you wanna do?
you wanna bog down council meetings with signing paperwork?
It's just a question, just a
Be
question.
done right after a council meeting?
Okay.
Or, okay. Just that everybody's here, gets to sign it off, and it gets done. On to 5CI, or 1, which is the development permit 042015, Councillor Carrier.
That council approved development permit 04-2015 applied for by Galaxy Signs at 5200 50th Street under the conditions that the developer must obtain a building permit and all other permits required by Safety Codes Council and meet all safety requirements, comply with the Town of High Prairie Land Use Bylaw number 20/2005, and also comply with the Town Council's decision at the April 28th, 2015 regular meeting.
Discussion? Mayor Cox and
I was just wondering where the site plan is.
everybody was thinking that, I think. We have it over here.
Okay. And the estimated commencement date and the completion date. Any ideas?
I tried getting that out of them. They didn't give me a date.
Oh, okay.
It's for the freestanding sign and the wall sign, it's for 2 signs.
Oh, I see, okay. So
They're
it
just-
goes
they're
on the
just-
building?
Yeah, they're just changing out the existing signs.
And are they, freestanding?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I see it.
Spiffy. So we're not sure when the commencement date or the,
I can have further information for the next meeting if you want to go through the whole presentation.
or, yeah, it'll probably.
Do I give it to Charlie?
Our
No?
Now we got that far. Any further discussion? Stealing everybody's questions. Rank counts privileges. Seeing none, all those in favor? Carried. 5CII, or 11, or 2, as it were. Councilor Tanaka.
The council authorized the CAO and the mayor to execute the memorandum of understanding between the town of High Prairie and Mackenzie Municipal Planning Services for the municipal planning development plan review and update for the town of High Prairie at the cost of $55,000.
Any discussion on this one? Pretty straightforward, we've all done our homework. Councilor Tanaka?
I just have a question. Is there a GL account that this is coming out of?
It's coming from the planning and development.
Okay,
Yes, because we approved the amount already.
yes. Okay,
Any further discussion? Yes, Mr. Martinson.
I just noticed that previous councils had, when they made their motions, stated that at a cost of no more than $55,000. I don't know if that's, because if you make the motion that they're gonna charge you $55,000, that's what they'll submit. So if it's $47,000, you know it's not over the 55 and administration can approve. Just a thought.
It's a thought, but the chair, Mr. Chair, the agreement is right with it, and the agreement is for 50,500. So there won't be a reduction. My question though is, when will this start?
Mr. Chair, this will start immediately after the resolution to approve the land use bylaw, which is the third reading.
Okay.
Yeah, and so it will take about 11 months. So we're going to about a year. Let's say we start in June or July. We're going to the next following year, about April, May, there. And then we have the schedule at that as well.
Any further discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor? Carried. And on to the next. Page 70, Agenda 5E1, 50th Avenue Road Rehabilitation Project. Councilor Rose, you had your hand?
Yeah, the council award the 50th Avenue Road Rehabilitation Project to Nelson Sand and Gravel and approve the 50th Road Avenue Rehabilitation Project for a cost of $1,194,478.86, including engineering and contingency, as well as authorize administration and Mayor Cox to sign the contracts.
Mr. Locker's taking the important chair.
I was just,
The question I have is MPE Simmons got the engineering cost in here, and we're not gonna be
Yes.
come back for.
If you look at the documentation, they have their design, general engineering, resident inspection, post-construction inspections, disbursements. What we're trying to do is coordinate them with the other projects as well, so that they only have one resident here for, so we're not paying double in each individual time. And we do have several projects, so they should overlap.
Oh, okay.
And we'll be watching them very closely on that.
So this might be less than what?
Yes, this is the possibility. It's just an estimated amount they put in.
Okay.
As you can see, the actual tender came in almost $200,000 less than what the original estimates were. So we did take out a little bit of stormwater work, but it's still good value for what we're paying for.
So didn't we just have a discussion last time about how their estimating is right out, what was it, too low last time?
Sometimes they're too low and sometimes they're too high. And it just is a matter of how the construction companies end up bidding the projects. The price of crude went down, so the price of asphalt goes down. How they determine is they look at on their estimates. When we ask for an estimate, they look at 5 or 6 different contracts that they put out and what the pricing was on those, and that's how they use it with the quantities that are being used to come up with their estimates. So if you got a company that is going to bid low on the asphalt or in some cases isn't very busy, we'll sharpen the price a lot more than the other companies if they're busy, right?
Well, I know that, but
So-
I'm thinking that MPE doesn't seem to have very good.
What they do is they take, like I say, they take
Yeah.
contracts that have closed, take those average of those pricings, and they figure out the quantities in ours, and that's how they come up with their estimates.
Okay, so this one came in, what was the estimate?
Sorry.
And Madam Mayor, we have to remember that we did take about $100,000 worth of stormwater work for a lead out of that contract. that after we looked at it more closely, it determined it didn't need to be done. It's sufficient the way it is.
Okay.
So it basically the bids come in about $100,000.
Is Nelson already working in our town?
Knelson did do 49th Street. They will be back to do the warranty repairs and lift the manholes that should have been lifted when they paved the surface the last time. So they will be back in town again. They also are doing the paving out at the hospital.
So who's bringing the asphalt plant in? Either one of them?
Well, now Ruel may not be bringing it
That's what I was thinking.
because they didn't get the volume that they thought they were going to get.
And Nelson will bring one in?
They have a pit set up at the Big Smoky, and that's usually where they haul from.
Big Smoky, not little.
Yeah.
Way over in Big Smoky?
Just as you're coming down this side hill going into Grand Prairie, they
Yeah.
have one that's set up there.
Is it gonna be hot enough by the time it gets here for the paving?
Yeah, we haul ours out of Peace River, which is about the same distance. You just mix it extra hot. Just add a little more heat to it.
I just think back to all the patchwork that's been done at the store as a result of asphalt coming in cold.
Different company though, right?
Yeah, just, okay.
I'm not sure who did the paving down there, but
Neither do I. Any further discussion?
There was a discussion on the fact that if Real Brothers or Real, whatever they're called.
Real Brothers.
Yeah, Real Brothers got both contracts that they might set a plant up, the plant might benefit the town.
yes.
Is it worth the extra amount?
I don't know legally if we cannot accept lowest tender, not because we're using government money on this one. If it was all our money, then we can choose to who. We do have another, if council remembers, we do have the RFP that we're gonna get ready to go for 51st Street, for a design and overlay of 51st from Kentucky Fried Chicken to, the junior high school, and that may push their quantities up.
Okay.
Any further questions? Seeing none. All those in favor? Thank you very much for your hard work.
Just a little more.
Yeah.
Moving along.
Moving it on. 51st Avenue, 48.
That council award the 51st Avenue Road Rehabilitation Project to Ruel Brothers Contracting and approve 51st Avenue Road Rehabilitation Project for a total of $554,654, including engineering and contingency, as well as authorize administration and Mayor Cox to sign the contracts.
Discussion.
Now this one will be an amendment to the capital budget because MP's estimate on that one was $300,000. So, the actual bid was $472,000, and then engineering and contingency upon top of that. So we will have to amend the capital budget once council approves the project, if they choose to do so.
So this would be an extra 250,000? Or was the 300 not including engineering?
The 300 was not including the engineering in the first go round.
So 300 and now it's coming in at 422,
472.
472. Oh, okay, yeah, 472.
That's what the contingency amount added in, right?
Contingency, okay. Okay. So this one is 172 over.
And the other one is just about 200 under, so in the end, the capital budget will not be affected all that much.
Okay.
One will get credited, the other one will have to come up. And actually, I think we still end up with a credit. I could do
RFC one, that's the Building Canada application, is it?
No, it was,
That's a different one.
it was an, we went out last fall and we got, it's something that we wanna try differently, where we don't have major underground to be done, so that we can cut out the middleman, the engineers, so that we can get a bigger bang for our buck on some of the streets that we can look after ourselves. So it's gonna be an RFP to construction companies. They'll come in, look at the project, and they will, under what our specifications and what we want done, they'll give us a price, and if it comes in within what we feel is under the budget or what we have set aside for it, then we'll bring it back to council to award it to whichever company they choose. Cause it's 100% our money, we could just get it done, but it's best to do an RFP in case somebody's way cheaper, right?
Have we heard anything on Building Canada?
Not as of yet.
But we did put our applications in.
Yes, the applications went in. We used the intermunicipal agreement to support the tri-party, and subsequently the MD has passed motions to support those projects.
Good.
So we should qualify for the 15 points.
Should. Any further questions? Seeing none. All those in favor? Carried. 5E3, Public Works Report. Good night, Richard. Thank you for coming.
Pretty exciting for itself.
Council Carrier.
That council received the April 2015 Public Works Report as presented for information.
I included a couple updates as to projects that are ongoing. West Fraser is particularly some that people have been interested in. I've added where we're at with that project now. They're looking at starting the last week of May and being complete by middle of July. The lift station backup power supply will close on Thursday. We'll know, and it'll be coming back to council the next council meeting for award. Lift station number 4, the other big one on here is it's nearing completion. We're hoping to have that up and running and pumping sewage by the middle of June.
Councilman Knapp.
Couple things. Garbage complaints.
Garbage complaints we've taken, and we've trying to set up a meeting with the general manager or the regional manager of waste management. We've also, Mr. Martinson's also sent a letter off to him to express our discontent with the services that have come forward so far in that contract.
Did you receive a complaint from a citizen who hadn't had their garbage picked up for 5 weeks?
I never personally received one, no. But
Because I had asked him, and he said that he filed a complaint with the town.
I've never seen one, and I think he lives by the Gordon McCann
I
Center?
don't know where
Oh.
he lives.
I think I know it was on Facebook. It was on Facebook?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, I think I know. I've never seen a complaint from that individual.
Okay, because I had asked him who he filed
Yeah.
his complaint with, and he said with the town.
Yeah,
Was that on the east side of High Prairie?
no,
It wasn't on the east side of High Prairie?
no.
I don't know where he lives, Brian. I don't know.
I'll let you know after, because we can't mention names here.
Regular clean of the skate park area. Was that, I thought Tim Stokes did that, no?
Not for the month of April.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, he starts in May,
Yeah.
okay. Couple more. Working with Prairie River Gas on gas quality claim, are they claiming the gas is bad?
We had an incident, January, first weekend in January, where we got bad gas and it was freezing off the Hard River Station. So we are putting in a claim with Gas Alberta, who will are would take it on to whoever Transcat the pipelines basically to, and hopefully they will cover some of the costs that were incurred on that. Because it was freezing off up there that we needed to have manpower, and Prairie River supplied manpower up there as well, to make sure we had a gas supply coming into town.
And one last question, you met with the Elks to discuss the operation of the campground?
Yes, we met with members of the Elks, to discuss what maybe their ideas were as to how to go about doing the capital upgrades out there and operation of the campground. They were very receptive at that time. Do you wanna elaborate on that at all, Brian?
Okay.
Do you wanna elaborate on that?
So we walked through, and then they brought me a brochure on how the camp stalls were set up, existing now. And I went back out and kind of looked at a line where we could put sewer into them lots. We have to locate the underground, the water and the electricity that's there now before we could start taking them. But
So they're, with these upgrades that will happen, they're willing to carry on?
That was the indication we got from
Running?
the members that we met with.
Okay, cool.
And we met with, 3 members of the Elks out there that day.
they're incorporated with the one that they have out at the Elks Hall.
Further to the Elks campground, the one on the highway, did anybody ever contact the Nelda Fire Department? They were interested in running that campground.
First I've heard of it.
Well, they were interested in running that campground. So if the Elks,
Okay.
and that's Darren Riddle. Maybe about 2 months ago, I believe I should see if I sent the email or did I phone? I think I phoned, which would mean I didn't have a record. Anyways, the Nelda Fire Department
Okay.
is interested in that. Sweeping on the highway, when you say you've swept the downtown, have we done the highway yet?
The highway's been done once, yep.
Done
And
once.
we've invoiced transportation for that. They usually pay for a spring and fall cleaning, the rest is up to the municipality.
Well, I think we had this discussion and it was, all we have to do is ask for it and it will be done.
We, no, not, that's the snow removal part of it. They don't like to pay.
That's true, but
Yeah.
it's their highway and it's their
Yeah.
dirt.
And normally, well, in past, they've only paid for a spring and a fall. So, the rest is up to us if we wanna clean it more frequently.
Well, not necessarily. All we have to do is get an actual letter from them saying, no, we're not going to do it again. Because we've never asked them ever again, have we? We've only said.
No, we've asked for more sweepings, and back when Harold Ireland and even Rodney Johnson was looking after it, he said, they pay for one in the spring and one in the fall.
But there's nothing in writing that says that.
No, we can ask again.
That's right. What about 749? Was that done?
That's
also?
that's the same, that's the highways, yeah.
Okay, so 749
Numbered
and
highways.
2 have both been done once.
Yeah.
Any further questions?
Oh, yes, one more on the, West Fraser, the business people frontage.
The only person we're waiting, the frontages?
Well,
I'll be bringing back a recommendation to council, but we can talk about it here. I'm gonna recommend, because of the high cost of tying in, that council waives the fees of any fee of us putting in that line. We'll recover it through usage in the future.
So are we getting the right of way?
And that's part of what I was gonna discuss too, is by getting the rights of way on there in lieu of any hookup charges.
Okay,
And we have, the only one we're waiting on is Imperial Oil.
so you're still working on it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But Imperial Oil just wanted to see a copy of the easement agreement, and they were fine with it once they got that, so. We should have all of that taken care of. So does council still want me to bring back that recommendation, or is this good enough?
What do you think?
I'll let council decide.
Let the CEO decide.
Okay.
Just for the records, yeah, let's have it come back to council, please.
Okay. I wanna play poker against you. That was a really good poker face.
So just to, just straight, we're not holding up West Fraser's portion, are we, because
No.
of this, or does this all go together, or how does this work?
The sewage portion of it will go together because, the line coming from West Fraser has to cross in front of a couple of the businesses already. It's not gonna hold up the project because they're gonna start with the water line probably up on 56th Avenue. That's the indications we have.
Oh.
On May the 7th, I think I put on, maybe I didn't put it on, but May the 7th, we're having a pre-construction meeting with Armstrong Construction. They've also been advertising locally for workers as well, so if somebody knows somebody who needs some work for 8 weeks, to get in contact with them.
I think what we might do in the future, we have too many, maybe so many projects going on, that we should be able to schedule maybe when each estimated time when the project is going to start and to end. I don't know what you think.
I've included that for West Fraser already.
Oh, okay.
The other projects, we haven't signed the contracts yet, so we don't have any indication of when they want to start because they haven't been awarded yet.
So once
Yeah, we need
once
to
this is all done,
put that-
maybe, we
yeah,
want to
we should
include
put
a
that.
chart of some sort
Yeah.
for us that are slightly challenged.
I'm not a chart guy, but I'll do it right up.
You can use Kelly's format.
Yeah.
That actually worked quite nicely if you did something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, just like this one.
Send it
I'll
off
get
to
Kelly
your
to-
roads person.
Kelly's got it.
What's that?
What kind
Send
of
it
guy?
to your roads person.
Yeah, I'm his admin support.
Oops. Any further discussions? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Mr. Chair, coming out of the report, I'd like to make a motion to direct administration to write a letter of gratitude to Ms. Stout for her hard work in keeping our community clean and her initiative to do so. And also a letter to Public Works for their initiative to help Ms. Stout in her efforts to help keep the town clean.
That's the young citizen.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
What's her first name?
Tara.
Nicole, I think.
Oh, Nicole, yeah.
Is it Nicole?
Yeah.
Yeah, Nicole.
All those in favor? Carried.
You didn't get it?
Thank you
Just
very
one.
much, Mr. Walker and Mr. Martinson, for your fine sideshow.
It was recorded, they can get back to it.
Yeah, that's true. You got it recorded on the, you got two letters.
Make a motion that council proclaim June 1st to 7th, 2015 Seniors Week in High Prairie.
Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Carried. On to the CEO staff written report, page 81. Mr. Tomko, you have the floor, Councilor Carrier.
Make a motion that council receive the CEO Kelly Tamako's written verbal report and action list for information.
So, guys, the garbage pickup, Councillor Carrier, I'm not sure whether we addressed the.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so that's taken care of. The issue of the open house, Madam Mayor, I thought you wanted to talk about it, the open house in my report, the one that you sent the email.
So the question I had regarding, for council, on this open house for Powers and Associates, usually the open house comes after the taxes are all paid. And that isn't when people want to talk about their taxes. They want to talk about them before they pay them. But I'm not sure whether council wants the open house at that point, or do you want to go with what Powers has said that he would prefer to have it? And do we have the, I don't wanna say authority, but, do we wanna request that he has an open house before taxes are due, which are due, what, June 30th?
Yeah, June 30th, yeah. So what we could do is, we could have something, propose to him to have something maybe the 3rd week of June. Then people would have received the mail, so I can propose that to him. And
Yeah, there might be more value, and you might get more attendance because the idea of their taxes is a little more in front of their head at that point after they pay for them. They may have given up, even if they have a concern, at that point they may, because it says it's not very well attended, right?
right. That's before they pay for it.
Right now, yeah, that's what I was saying, I think it might add value.
I think it will add a lot of value because they get the notice. They wanna talk to somebody about it. If we had somebody here that they could talk to and then, okay, fine, I understand it, I'm paying. End of story.
Yeah, just advertise that it's happening and right away people will know that they can come and address it at that.
So it'll be 3 weeks after the tax notices go out because we don't want to have a specific
No.
date. So 3 weeks after the tax notices go out.
That's what I wanted to bring up regarding the open house.
Make a
To me, it makes
suggestion,
sense.
Mr. Chair, make a suggestion that you make a motion after the report.
Okay. Mr. Powers should be so amenable to this, considering we just renewed his contract.
Understand.
Yeah,
Hopefully. Councillor Dinac.
I have a couple of questions. The library. Where are we on renewing the lease
For janitorial, I mean,
for the library? Cause the
They-
last time you guys discussed it, it was like, you guys weren't seeing eye to eye, so the discussion kind of terminated there.
I made a lease up similar to the museum and sent it to them and Kelly and I met with them and they felt that what was it called? The
Memorandum of
memorandum
Understanding.
of agreement was good enough that they had.
And so where are we at with that?
I still have it in my mailbox, the copy of the lease agreement, so.
If I may, what's her issue with not signing it?
Well, we did a new lease agreement with the museum.
And the Old Age Society
Yeah,
signed, they
I
signed the
noticed
same
that
one.
the library one had terminated also. So when we went back to look, they had a memorandum of agreement in the vault, in our vault here with their agreement. And that was signed in 2004 or something, or no, it was later than that. Anyways, I was directed by you to do a new lease agreement, so I sent it to them. And we met with Simone and they basically weren't interested in signing it because the memorandum of agreement said covered off what they needed, so.
Personally, I think, I mean, the museum, I mean, it's a cumbersome document, the museum wasn't happy with it either. But we went through it and they met and we made some changes that fit or some clarifications that they needed. And I don't think the library should be able to opt out by saying, oh, we have a letter of understanding and that's good enough for us. This is the new lease, this is what we agreed on, this is what we were using from henceforth when they expired, this is the new lease. I think somehow we have to get them to sign it, or something.
Easy enough. our
I mean, it's
building.
not like we're gonna boot them out of there.
What I'll do is I'll make you copies and I'll let you take it back to your next meeting at the.
Thank you. I will
Library
get
board?
Tracy to add it to the agenda and I will say, you guys need to sign this.
I'll deliver them to you tomorrow.
Thank you. And, my last question, the LSLEA, strategic planning. Where's our strategic plan?
You have it.
Do we have it?
We'll have copies.
We were given multiple photocopies and agendas and
Of our
nothing
strategic plan?
officially in a binded
Like not in,
book,
okay, okay,
but it was in different agendas and
okay.
different
I
handles.
was looking for a book or a bound copy or something, cause my agendas are now long gone. Okay,
Any further discussion?
Oh, that's a good point, actually, we should, be reviewing our strategic plan. I might wanna make a motion after this is done.
Just
Councillor
further on
Pierce.
that, cause we have talked about having a strategic plan review, we talked about it in the fall and we talked about it in January.
Yep.
Do we have any dates sort of in mind?
I'm off on holidays next week, so when I get back, it'll be a good time.
When are you back, Kelly?
Should be back in Canada on the 3rd. I'm at the FCM on the 5th to the 8th. My official time I think is the 10th or the 11th. FCM not to accept, not from the town.
Mr. Martinson?
Just to let council know that the open house for the land use bylaw is this Saturday from 10 to 3. And Kelly Park here has sent out letters to everybody who has had changes in their zoning. And I have been contacted by a number of businesses or whatever, asking the question about how it's gonna affect them. And I went and I've taken my map and a new map and showed him and kinda make sure that, you know, there was no big hidden answers or whatever. And today we received another call from across the railroad tracks from a business owner and asked another question regarding, so we'll bring that up to Van when he's here on Saturday. So I've been kind of intercepting some of the calls, so the people that were gonna come, I don't think they'll end up showing up now, but I told them it's still an open house and if they wanted to come, they could.
There were some letters sent out
They
to
were, most people were worried that because of the rezoning, their taxes were gonna go up. And I said, it don't affect that, I said. That was the most questions I had, like, you know, is my
Well,
taxes
yes.
gonna go up? Good.
You get them in the pocketbook, they'll get your attention.
Should've told them yes, and that way they'd all attend.
Yeah.
Be full house. Councillor Dinak, and then.
On your action list, Kelly.
Yes, sir.
Page
Yes, sir.
86.
Yeah.
261/15, Councillor Pronasik, speak to Children's Resource about more details. It says completed for April 28.
Which one is that?
261/51 or 15.
Page 86.
Page 86, third one down, 261/15,
Yeah.
Children's Resource Council.
Sorry.
Says it's completed for April the 28th.
It should be ongoing. Just a quick update on that. I had worked with the Children Resource Council and we had agreed to have an appraisal done. It's a little bit of a complicated process, but we have the appraisal now. The appraisal is about, for both lands, is 75K. So the two portions of land, one that was given to them by the town, and then the other portion that they bought for about 38K. They estimate that the improvement on that land was about 30K. So they have put in total about 68K. So the suggestion that I'm hearing from them, and I'm meeting with them tomorrow, is that we may have to get at least 60K out of it. So if the appraisal is 75, then the town gets 15K. But we'll see how it works out and hopefully get it back to council for decision making. But that's how it's breaking out. It's becoming a little bit much simpler because we had an appraisal. Otherwise, it was all over the map. Yeah. So I think we will aim to bring it to the next meeting because I will have the answers and the background for it.
Is the
Yeah.
pieces,
Mayor Cox and then Councilor
is
Blank.
the piece of land split, or is it all?
It was two pieces of land,
It was
but
two
they are being
pieces of
dealt
land.
with now as one piece in terms of the appraisal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, just wondering.
Yeah.
Councilor Blank.
And the one underneath there,
Yeah.
it says completed for the 28th for the skateboard society.
That's ongoing.
It's ongoing, but we had invited Angelo, and he couldn't make it.
Oh, okay,
So the invite was there,
okay.
but I
Okay.
still treat it as ongoing just because we can invite them again. So,
I do have something on
Yeah.
that. Angelo said that,
yeah.
that actually he's getting burnt out, but he wants to talk to Dave Crook, and Dave is trying to organize enough to come.
Oh,
So
okay.
they are still working on this.
Okay.
Mayor Cox.
The High Prairie Forest Products,
Yeah.
this new office,
Yeah.
the High Prairie Forest Products, are they the ones that have to talk to CN regarding the railroad crossing? Or do
Yes.
we have to?
No, they have to.
They have to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but what we've done is we are providing them with all the help that we can. Maybe we're being a little bit selfish because we'd love to have the building in our area because if we don't get the railway crossing, they will definitely be tempted to go somewhere in the MD. So we provided them with the contact to MPE and then Brian Matheson will be available to answer any questions or give them any help that they need to move that forward. So we want to be part of the game.
Any, oh,
And the budget highlight package, review, someone's working on that, must be Brian.
No, that will be nice.
Eventually.
It's on hold. I've got a treasurer will get something.
Okay,
Yeah,
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 that's
go to the
difficult.
ongoing, yeah.
that's it.
Why I just talk, because you never see me.
That's why I backed up all the time so we can see.
Councilor Rose.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I forgot what I needed. Oh, yeah. Just about the volunteer or the Fire Appreciation Week barbecue.
Yeah.
Do you need our assistance with that besides Quentin and I had volunteered to help out during the day of like cooking and like who's doing that? Do you need somebody to like we approved the money, but and I see that it's in here, but I don't see anybody's been like
No, I left it to Ken. I mean,
you left it to Ken.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the one for Public Works, I left it to the senior manager, so.
Well, I would expect all the council is gonna be there.
What Mr. Chair, I think what Debbie is saying is that maybe you need to find out from, I don't know how to go about this. Don't know how.
Actually, I thought
I have to
because
stop.
sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I thought because we were putting it on for the firefighters, Ken was included, and I thought with Public Works, then Public Works Senior Management was included, so I thought then it was somebody else that would be actually hosting the event, which included us, but I potentially thought maybe administration, so I guess that was more my question was, but I didn't realize that you asked already Ken and Public Works, so you guys are then in charge of like buying the food and then
Well, I mean, sorry, Mr. Chair, sorry. The administration is Public Works, and Public Works.
I know.
We're all, I mean, that's our
It's like, who's
administration
buying
is.
the burgers?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
What my idea was is we'd buy
yeah,
the food
yeah,
and you guys come down and cook it.
okay.
That was all.
none, all those in favor? Yay.
Have a motion?
Yes.
Move to direct administration to request that Powers and Associates attend an open house for to attend a tax open house. To invite Powers and Associates to attend a tax open house in the month of June.
3 weeks after the tax notice is ended.
3 months after the.
3 weeks.
3 weeks. 3 weeks after the tax notices
Have been issued.
have been issued. And before the tax payment deadline.
So 3 weeks after the tax notice has been sent out.
Yeah.
You want the tax notice deadline in there, or tax payment in there? Do you want that part in
I
there?
mean, no, the 3 weeks covers it anyways.
Okay, then you can leave that off.
Okay.
Invite Powers Associates to attend the tax open house 3 weeks after the tax notice has been sent out.
Sent out, okay. Okay, did you get it? Should I read it to you or you? You got it, okay.
Any discussion? Seeing none, good motion. All those in favor? And Councillor Tanaka.
I make a motion that administration bring to the next council meeting a copy of the strategic plan for discussion.
Any discussion? Mayor Fox.
Yeah, what are we gonna discuss? That was-
The strategic plan.
The strategic plan.
I agree that we have to discuss.
Maybe I should amend it to say, review the strategic plan?
That was sort of what I was going with a separate meeting, like we talked about having a review of the strategic plan, but in a
So maybe that's what the
Special
motion
fund.
should be,
A
is more,
review of the strategic plan?
to set up a special meeting, workshop,
Okay.
to review the
Okay.
strategic.
I withdraw that motion. I will make a new motion that, council, request administration to set up a special, workshop for review of the strategic plan.
You want a date on that? June? It's July?
July will be fine.
July?
Everybody's got it all written down? You good?
Mr. Chair, I think we should be in the habit of reading it out.
Yes.
So that otherwise we soon run into some big confusion when I'm gone.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for them to see the pen still working feverishly.
Ready, Nancy?
Okay.
So you have it? Could you read it back for us, please?
Council requested Min to set up a special workshop to review the strategic plan in July.
And in that chair, you sort of have to speak louder.
That council requested Min to set up a special workshop to review the strategic plan in July
2015.
2015.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Remember when you first did it and you were so quiet? And
I
now.
know, it's hiding behind the screen, I like that too.
Council Carrier.
Make a motion that council receive the check listing for council for March 25th, April 14th, 2015 for information.
Yes.
I signed, probably in the last month, was for a AED for Buchanan Center.
That's
Did
for,
we get
that
one?
was for the Buchanan Center, yeah.
Okay, one of the items that was on the Recreation Board agenda Monday was the approval of a grant that they received for an AED to be put in Buchanan Center. So, do we have someplace else to put this AED?
Put it in the, I don't know if the town office has one.
Library, museum. I would suggest a library, but
Does the library have one?
Not to my knowledge.
Or the museum, because there's the visitor center there. But I just want you to know that
my just thinking is just the amount of foot traffic, there's more that goes to the library than to the museum.
And maybe you wanna talk to Lori to find out how she got a grant for an AED, and we didn't.
I actually looked into it for our community hall in Big Meadow, before, and it's dependent upon, the amount of people that are going in and out of that building, at any given time. So, chances are, like the town office and that would not have the number of people going through. I know we didn't qualify at our community hall because it's not a busy enough used facility.
The library, well,
Yeah.
so,
Sure glad you guys didn't have one.
I think,
well, I was kinda thinking we could have done that. Practice makes perfect.
I think it was Alan that ordered this, AED as part of the safety, so, we can follow up with him as to why it was done.
Well, find out from Lori, maybe we can put the bill in
Yep.
and get it, reimbursement on it. I mean, it was $2,300. So, anyways, and you could find out when that one is coming that they're planning on putting into Buchanan Center.
Dodged a bullet on that one.
You sure did. But don't worry, there may be more chances.
The worst one was gonna be Trevor.
Call the question.
No more questions on that one, let's call the question, all those in favor, boom.
Sorry,
Thank you, carried.
Mr. Chair.
That's okay.
I apologize to Councillor Rose, but this checklisting is for council information. You receive your packages on Thursday, this should not be bogging down the council meeting. Do your homework, ask your questions before, it's just strictly for information. That's what it was intended for, so that's why I'm calling the question. You should be asking your questions before your council meeting, this is why it's under council information.
But
So, we're
because
moving
it's
along.
under council information does not necessarily mean that we can't discuss it.
But
It's
your
certainly
question
under-
should have been asked ahead of time.
like
That's
the
why you have
AED,
agendas ahead of time.
Like the AED. So
Anyways,
everybody
moving
should
along.
get that fairness, what's good for the goose, et cetera, et cetera. So sometimes there's some questions that come up that it's an afterthought. We have to be flexible. Yes, Councilor.
Make a motion that council approve the attendance of Mayor Cox to the Leaders Premier Dinner in Edmonton on April 30th, 2015 at the Shaw Centre at 5:30 p.m.
And I did receive a phone call from, Tolko, and, Tom Hoffman had said that P-Line, Sanford Gaucher will be there as part of the table, and Ken Matthews will also be there as part of Tolko's table. So they are reaching out to us to build a relationship with us.
Yep. Discussion on this? Councilor Naka?
I find it interesting that, and this may have been scheduled beforehand, I find it very interesting that we are in the midst of an election and he's having a premier's dinner. It just, and
I think my intent is is not so much the Premier's Dinner, but the relation building with Tolko and the other ones at the table, with the Tolko and the ministers that are gonna be, not so much that portion, but.
I have my thoughts on this one, but hear from the table? Nothing. I think it's a good thing. I think the timing is, it's not like they just planned to have this. This has been in the works for a while, so, and it is a good time for us to try to build the relationships, hopefully with the, how do you have it with the leaders, right, and the ministers if you don't know if they're going to be there in the play after
It's
the curtain
Tolko we
closes?
want to close.
Yeah, so,
But do we need to go to the Premier's Dinner to meet with Tolko and Peavine?
yes, I believe so. I understand that there are some counselors who don't feel comfortable in the networking side of things and sometimes don't see the benefit the same way others do, but it's vitally important, and this one's got all of our partners. It's not like we're getting people from Ottawa, it's the players in our neighborhood, and hopefully through building relationships with them, we'll be also able to have a stronger voice when we go to our ministers. If they don't know us, then we'll never get a sign saying High Prairie before Peace River. Every time I drive by and I'm going to Slave Lake and I see Peace River and I don't see High Prairie, and it irks me every time. And why? Because they don't even know we exist. The only way they're going to know we exist is for us to continue to be putting our best foot forward, and that's one of these opportunities. How did you?
That was good.
Okay.
But you're right, it is. If you're not gonna get noticed, you come up to the junction at Canuso, and you turn west, and where are you going? Peace River. Why? The next community is us.
Absolutely.
That discussion really has nothing to do with the merit of this motion.
Well,
I call the question.
perfect. All those in favor? Done. And then that's a big form to be filling out, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know, so it's done.
And we are down to the written verbal reports, starting with C, Council Carrier.
I've been away, apologize to council, I have no report.
Councilor
Nothing to report?
Councilor Rose, we have your report. Thank you very much.
Where?
I handed it out at the beginning of the meeting.
Ah, that's
It's
right.
in one of those little piles, however. The three things that I reported on was an LSLE strategic planning session in Canuso, and I sort of just gave everybody the gist of what happened there, because I know that's been questioning whether we should make a move to CREDA or what's happening with the other partners, and they actually had a Trevor, you don't have one? Maybe I'll share one hand.
Thanks.
They had the MD of Slave Lake and, well, a couple, I think the MD of Slave Lake, yeah, and Slave Lake. Wabasca is represented, High Prairie, the county as well, and I think there are other members that were questioning value and membership. But actually, the meeting went very well. They go forward with the core focuses that they put forward in that meeting. I think there's some value in being involved, and especially if all the partners stay involved, because they're looking at some regional initiatives that could have some impact on all of us, and potentially be able to use some of their funds to help us with a few rural projects. So that's, I gave you the list, I won't go over that. You guys can take a look at it later. Brian and I met with Mackenzie Municipal Services and reviewed the land use bylaw and the map. And we went sort of street by street and took a look at and identified a few errors, a few zoning suggestions, and I guess that was it about that, just so they would be as ready as possible for the public meeting. And then we also went to that county golf tournament meeting. The only thing that really came out of that is we did say, yes, we're gonna sponsor. We hadn't committed to a sponsorship level. We just said that, you know, we will sponsor where they need us to sponsor, when they are finished giving sort of, sponsorship opportunities to other corporations. We'll take one of those. As well as they're looking for more support, kind of like that we're actually gonna do some stuff, and actually Kelly was there too. So, one of the things that I suggested that we could do was to arrange the golf carts. Kelly?
Jessica Martinson wants to take over doing that.
Does she? Okay.
Yeah, so cause she said she did it last year, the golf carts, so she said if we want to do it, we have the opportunity.
Okay, well that's
she
fine,
said-
yeah.
She said if that's one thing off of us, and she said she's really appreciative of how much work we are doing to help out this year.
That's great, yeah, and it's great to have you there at the meetings. The other thing that we need to think about is if we're going to contribute, they asked for items like last year, in the tournament bags for the golfers, and whether we wanted to participate in that. The MD did a teddy bear last year. I think they're doing the same thing again this year. We did golf balls last year. They seem to be well received. I mean, everybody went home with Town High Parade golf ball. Is that a good thing? Is that, you know, do we want to have our logo out leaving the community? Because there's a lot of people, a lot of corporate executives, we had a lot of VIPs, for, you know, lack of a better term, that kind of came in. That's sort of what they're targeting, right? So do we want to be present in that way? We don't have to make a decision right now, but we need to consider that, whether we want to.
Is this over and above our 2,500 that we already
Well, I
pledged
guess
to them?
Or we could say, this is how we'll do it, we'll give you this, and, you know, like, we can make that decision, right? At this point, we haven't actually, told them for sure what sponsorship level, right? So we could say, well, we'll take less advertising at the event. Or we'll just give you the money, we don't even need to, you know, have to be a whole sponsor or anything, sell all your holes to somebody else. But this is, we'll give you so much in product for your gift bags. Or golf bags, whatever.
Wonderful. Any further questions? Nice report. Thank you. And that brings us, and that, pardon me?
Oh, you heard? Were you first?
They knew mine.
No, we haven't gone there yet.
I'm sorry, I thought
And
you
I don't have a report.
Don't you need a motion to accept this?
Motion to accept, thank you very much. Got me flustered there, Councillor Carrier, with your German hand. So, all those in favor? Mayor Cox?
No report.
No report. And that being said, this meeting,
Make a motion, go in camera.
and it is 4 minutes after 9, and we'll have a 10-minute recess, and then on camera.
We'll vote when we come back
Yeah,
about going in camera.
yeah, it's better that way, otherwise it's